If they do that, the Cougars will be very, 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 very tough to beat.
Wilson! Oh! And we are tied!
Let's go! Call them by Slamma Jamma.
And I don't ever let them forget where we come from.
Getting those phones out. Report me acting ignorant, man.
Baylor empties it out. Quick toss. It's going the other way. Second pick of the night. Jeremiah Wilson finishes this one.
Seventh heaven for Houston. The Cougars advance to their seventh Final Four.
Go Cougs! Let's go!
It's so good! The dream remains alive for the Houston Cougars!
Man, that last clip is never going to get old. I might say that until however long we have that clip. Welcome into this special edition of Pod Slamma Jamma. Joining me, Bryce and Chris Wilson, you two U of H legends. And we're here to talk about one of the big commits that the University of Houston Cougars football team had this past week, and that is Paris Melvin, one of the two four-star recruits that committed to the University of Houston football team. Let's get into it. Hopefully he's able to join us later on in the show. But Bryce, Chris, you guys each know this young man personally. First, let's start off with how big of a get is it for the Houston Cougars program? It seems like you're starting to build a lot of momentum this last few days.
Oh man, it's huge, man. Thank you guys for tuning in again. It's a privilege to have my best friend, Paris, as offensive coordinator. He's been knowing Paris longer than anybody that I know. Help groom this young man and help become a Cougar. So Cougar Nation, man. Let's welcome Coach Chris Wilson. He's a alumni, came in with me. Class of 08, one of the first class we had under Coach Sumlin, and we excited to talk to him a little bit. And we excited about Paris committing. So Chris, just tell us, like, you being a mentor towards Paris and helping him through this recruiting. Just tell us what you know about Paris and let Cougar Nation know what type of kid that they're getting.
Yes, man. Thank you guys for having me on today. I appreciate you guys. But yeah, man, I'm like Bryce said, I'm Paris's offensive coordinator here at South Springs, and the type of kid that you're getting with Paris is he's a unique individual, not like a kid that I've coached before. Kind of a weird situation when we first got here. This is going into my fifth year at Cypress Springs High School. When we first got here, Cypress Springs High School wasn't that great when it comes to our record. Before we got here, we had won 3 games in 4 years. So it was basically a rebuild of what we were. It was not even a rebuild. It was never built. It was really a build program of what we were coming into with our head coach, O.G. Fagan. And Paris was one of our, I'd say, recruits because a lot of times that in our area, high school kids was not coming to South Springs during that time. So I literally, like, colleges have to go to high school campuses and recruit their high school players. I literally had to do to our zone feeder middle school kids because they were just not coming because of the culture that was already there before, and parents and athletes just did not want to come. So what's unique about him is he's the first kid that of our zone kids that was going to be pretty special, that we kind of knew that, stepped out on a limb and believed and the new vision and everything that we kind of are doing right now at South Springs to turn it around. And he catapulted to turning the whole program around at South Springs. And we gave him a vision, myself, Coach Fagan, Coach Carter, when he was with us. He's now the head coach of Hastings, and Coach Brown. We sat down with him and his parents and gave him a vision. And he was one of the few that actually of his class that came on board and decided to, write his own legacy and history. So that's the type of kid you are, because, I kind of look at Houston with the Willie Fritz era. It's quite similar. So he's not the type of kid because he could have went anywhere in Houston area to play sports. to play football. Everybody wanted him, but he chose to come to South Springs, even though we wasn't at where we're at right now, because he wanted to write his own legacy. So you're getting a loyal kid, a kid that wants to come in off the ground, ready to roll, and be loyal to his teammates, to his guys, to the program, and he wants to be able to write his own history and not just jump on anybody's bandwagon. So that's the type of kid he is. His father has done a great job of raising him. He's always, been that type of guy to where he's get it out the mud. Like nothing ever was handed to him over silver spoon. So making a decision to come over to South Springs was just an ordinary decision for him because he's used to, getting it out the mud, taking a difficult route to build to what he wants. Long story short, he ended up coming to South Springs, and the rest is history. He came in, and he's one of the hardest workers that we have on our program. A fierce leader. Can play every position on the football field. If you watch the film, he played quarterback, he played running back, he played receiver, he can play corner, he can play safety, he can play nickel. He's just one of the kind athletes that I've had a privilege of coaching. I've coached some pretty good guys, but he's the best all-around athlete that I got a chance to coach in my 12 years of coaching so far. So U of H is getting a pretty special kid on and off the field.
And on that note, I think that's the perfect segue to bring in Mr. Paris Melvin. How are you doing? How are you doing, Paris?
I'm doing amazing.
I'm glad you was off there, so you didn't hear me talking you up. Not just playing.
Glazing you. Just to piggyback off that, Chris, I remember before I met Paris, you told me his freshman year, you said, man, I think I got the best player I've ever seen in high school. I said, man, come on now, dog. Like I coached a bunch. You was raving about this kid, Paris. And I kept thinking, man, nah, man. I done seen Chris Marsh, I done seen Devon A-Chain and Marsh. You like, nah, this kid is special just like that. So I didn't get the welcome until I actually got there. And I was like, man, I was wowed by this kid. Tell me when you knew he was going to be special.
That's a couple moments, honestly. Seeing him play in the 8th grade. Like I said, he grew to 6 foot 180, but he wasn't always the biggest on the field. And to see his tenaciousness on the football field, like how he played the game, throwing his body around, sacrificing sacrifices for his teammates, and then just being a playmaker. His start and stop mobility that you can see on film, and then he has also a breakaway speed that I knew. He's going to be a pretty different player. I mean, every time he touched him when I came to the middle school, he was taking it for 6. And then on defense, he'll turn around and linebacker. Little self was playing linebacker, coming down and smacking guys. So I was like, man, whoever this number 11 is, man, he's going to be special. And then another moment is when he got to campus very early on. And this has nothing to do with football at all. Just his leadership and his the way he goes about himself and the hard worker he is. Basically we were running, it was off-season day, and we're running down and backs. And, I challenged the guys. He's winning every single rep. And we ran that day. We probably ran a lot because I think they did something to piss me off. And we had a lot of reps. But he was just winning every single rep. So after so many, I said, hey, if anybody can beat Paris on the team in a down and back, we will stop. Paris kept winning. He would not let nobody beat him. Then I finally said, okay, just one person. If you beat Paris, you're done for the day. There's no more conditioning for you. He go out there, he beats him again. So then finally, I said, Paris, this is like, we're getting to the end, and I knew they didn't know the number, but I knew the number in my head. I said, Paris, if you finish this and you win this one, you're done, and everybody else got another one. So I'm just trying to find creative ways for somebody to beat him. And he goes out there and wins again. And but when I knew the moment was special was he had the opportunity to take the next rep off, and because he won. But he got back and lined it up again, and then he ran again and he won again on a rep that he didn't have to do. So after we ran and everybody's dog tired. So that's the leadership. That's when I knew he's different. That's when I knew that, off the field, beyond the God-given abilities that he has, that God has blessed him with to play football, But that work ethic that that's instilled in them from a young age is second to none.
So, question for Paris. Well, a couple of questions. First one, man, what are you doing? It looks like you might be in the middle of a workout. Like,
I am. I literally just got done. That's why I got on late. When Coach Bell had told me I'll be able to make it at 8, I was like, I should be done. And then I stayed to get some extra work in, some footwork in, and stuff like that after my lifting and everything. So that's what I was in the middle of. I got on here drenched sweat, but yeah, it dried off now, hopefully. But
no,
yeah.
man, we love it. That's that hard work ethic, right on display. Uh, Paris, let's talk about your commitment to Houston. Let's start first and foremost with that decision. What was it about the University of Houston Cougars football team that made you choose them, and they felt like the program that was going to be your home?
I would most definitely say U of H has been there from the beginning. Coach Fritz, Coach Bell, just Coach Armstrong, Coach Sherman, just the whole coaching staff been on board. Y'all can hear me?
Yep,
Yes,
yep.
yes.
Um, and that was just a key thing to to what I wanted to be a part of. With the culture that we was in and the culture that I've been in, all my coaches were brought in to just winning, and that's the type of thing. That's the type of organization and culture I wanted to go into. And like Coach said before I got on here, I came in at the end. I heard him talking about just when just the basic when nobody thought South Spring was gonna be there. And when we was the team, we were laughing stocks of the district and laughing stock of the area, and nobody took us serious. And we came in, I came in, and we came in as a team, and we changed the whole program around. And that's just something that I wanted to do, and I wanted to join a part of with Key and of course Jaden and everything. When we was on our OV, we was talking about it, but that was just another thing that lit a fire in me. That like, man, everybody going to other places, everybody going to these big old logos and all these big old schools, but I want to be a different because in 5 to 10 years, whenever we look back and U of H is still doing great things, I wanted to be a part of that first class like I was at South Springs to turn it around.
Paris, we heard Coach Wilson talking about it a few minutes ago, but I'm curious to get from your perspective for people that may have never seen you play. How would you describe your game to University of Houston Cougars fan base?
I would most definitely say very passionate. I love the game. I love it too much to do anything wrong to it. So that's just something the way that I was built up, and I would just say describe my game. I'm a great leader on the field, and just very like I stated, very passionate, and I play every down like it's my last because I don't know when it's gonna be my last to play the game. So that's how I would say.
Bryce, any
Paris,
questions you got?
can you tell us, are you playing both sides of the ball, or are you just focusing on one side?
No, 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 no.
Where they see you at?
Well, U of H, that's another reason why I chose them was because they see me on both sides of the ball. Well, they see me on all three sides of the ball, to be to be exact. They just didn't see me as one dimensional, and they actually listened to me, and they actually listened to my coaches, and actually what we had to say and what we had to offer and everything. And they seen it themselves. Like they created the three-way narrative, they created the Super P narrative, all of this other things, and now it's up to me. Like that's that that's how I was gonna make it from the jump. Like regardless if they didn't believe me or not, I was gonna make it to the point to where you had no choice but to play me on all three sides of the ball. And that's just something that they bought into, and they want me to play all three sides. And they want me to play kick return, punt return, receiver, running back, super back, star, corner, you name it. I'm gonna be on the field when I get to U of H.
Paris, which coach was kind of instrumental in recruiting you to U of H?
I'm not gonna lie, it was probably all of them. But if I had to choose one, it would probably. I'm not gonna lie, it would have to be Coach Fritz. Um, Coach Fritz was a big part of it because that just showed a lot. Like, yeah, the coordinators and the position coaches and everybody could want you and everything, but at the end of the day, I feel like if a head coach is brought in to really getting you, then that just shows a lot about how much of a priority you is to them wanting you. And I feel like with Coach Fritz and me talking to Coach Fritz and him calling me every day and texting me every day, blowing my phone up, that was huge, a huge eye opener. So that's what I definitely would. That's who I would definitely say who was the biggest in getting me to U of H.
Bryce, any other question? Big shout out to Chris Gardner of the Houston Round Ball Review. He welcomes you to Coug Nation, Paris. He's excited to see you on campus soon. And yeah, Crabtree on YouTube says the class of 2026 seems like it's going to be really fuel for Houston's program, and you guys are going to have a chance to do great things. We were talking about it before you kind of hopped on the show, just in terms of really this past week, a lot of buzz around this class of 2026 for U of H. I'm curious, obviously from just yesterday, we had the big commitment with Jaden Warren, who committed to the University of Houston. We talked about Keyshawn Henderson and obviously what his big commitment to U of H and just kind of ongoing recruiting online. How big have some of these other athletes been to you, just in terms of like, hey, we want to go to U of H. We want to have an opportunity to really put this program and do something special?
I would say when we had our OV, and me and Key been locked in for a minute since we was 8 years old, 9 years old, 10 years old. Like me and Key been locked in for a minute. So, to join back up with him and to actually play ball with him again is a great feeling, because I know I got that great relationship with somebody already from the jump.
Mm-hmm.
And for him to be my quarterback and for him to be throwing us the ball and everything, that's just going to have a lot more bonding and blend into what we finna start at U of H. But like I was saying, when we was on our OV, meeting Jaden for the first time, he was very quiet and everything. But the more that we got to talking, the more more I got to know him, because Key already knew him and everything. But the more that we all got to just hang out and everything, it was just it clicked right then and there. Like we got our own group chat. We call ourselves I don't know if you know, but LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh. That's our profile picture. With the big three, So
Yeah.
I just feel like, and we talk in there every day. We don't even talk about football. It's just more like of a brotherly thing already, and like having that coming into to U of H is gonna be something scary and dangerous. And we all looking to do the same exact thing. We all looking to change the program and the narrative. So that's what's gonna be a great sighting.
Big Three. That's a good nickname to have, especially if you got Bosh, Wade, and LeBron as your profile pick.
I'm Bosh. I'm LeBron. I can do everything. They could argue with who Dwayne Wade and who Chris Bosh, but all I know is I'm LeBron. LeBron could pass, shoot, dunk, defense, everything. Quarterback, running back, receiver, DB, you name it. I'm doing all of it. So I would consider myself LeBron. But yeah.
Paris, kind of follow up, you mentioned your official visit. I'm kind of curious, kind of if you could walk us through, what were some of the things that kind of the Houston coaching staff showed you through that official visit? Obviously, there's a lot of new things that are coming with U of H football just in general. Obviously, the new football facility they're set to open up here in the coming years. What was kind of the things that they showed you at your OV?
I've been down to U of H a lot, so it really wasn't much that they could have shown me. Like, I had already knew everything going into it. It was just basically building a stronger bond with the coaches and building a stronger bond with the players and everything. I would say that was the biggest thing. Seeing how humble and seeing how the players acted, because it's not everybody that you meet is gonna be humble and want the best for you, is what I would say. And as the U of H players and as Boogie and Spider and all of them, as we talked with them and was just hanging out with them, it was no, nah, don't come here. Like, it was no, like, you're going to take our spot type of anything deal. It was like all love. Like, nah, we want y'all here. We want y'all to carry on the Knicks. We want y'all to battle. We want y'all to do all of that. And so that was kind of shocking to me, because I've been to some places where the players ain't like that. The players like, nah, I don't come here, like, or they got an attitude because that you recruiting their spot, or you getting recruited to take their spot, or you just getting recruited for their position. And I mean, that was just a great sighting and to feel. And then the facility that they got building, everything, that thing is gonna be crazy. So I just can't wait for that all to come together and everything. But other than that, I would say it was nothing that they really could have shown me else more. Just keep being who they was. That's what they did. And they continue to do it. They continue to check on me, text me, call me every day, even after the commitment. And so that's what big eye opening again. Like, hey, they just didn't do this just to get me to commit. It's still a daily routine thing that at least 2 to 3 coaches from the coaches that text me every day or calling me every day. And not just the defensive coordinators again and the position coaches. No, it's the head coach and it's the people that actually has, I'm not gonna say a say so because everybody has a say so, but just important, and that's what really that's really a great feeling to have.
Bryce, Chris, I'll open it up to y'all. Anything else y'all like to add or ask
Man, I'm just
Paris?
excited.
Yeah.
Cougar Nation, I'm telling you, you're getting the best player in the city. I've been saying it before, and I really believe it now. So I'm excited. It brought a tear to my eye, and I'm thankful Paris gonna be a Cougar boy. I'm thankful for Coach Wilson, man. So I'm good.
Yeah,
Good.
man. I was, this one kind of was tough for me, just because, man, my relationship with Paris, it goes deeper than just coach, or like I consider him as one of my own kids. I mean, just to be honest with you, like I respect his family and everything, his parents and everything, but they've allowed me to have a bond with Paris to where it's just different than most kids. And what made this one kind of difficult was because I couldn't show too much favoritism to U of H because I am a graduate. I played with Bryce and everything like that. So, of course, my number one thing I wanted him to do was go to U of H, but Paris never knew that. Because I wanted him to know and I wanted him to make a decision for himself. Without any influence, because like I said, I was rocking and rolling with wherever we was going. If we was going all the way across the country, I was gonna get on the flight and be with my guy. But it means a lot that he wants to stay home, and play for the institution that I got a chance to play for, just because of our bond that we do have. So, like Bryce said, man, it brought a tear to my eye. But it was very difficult. I will say that because plenty of times I'd be like, boy, if you just don't commit to U of H, but I couldn't because I wanted him to make that decision on his own, non-biased from myself. And he did. And I think U of H did a phenomenal job recruiting him because they made it clear that he's their guy and that they wanted him, and they made him feel the love. And he had some really, really, really great coaches recruiting him. Baylor did a hell of a job recruiting him. Coach Gonzalez at Baylor. Even Arizona was in the mix because Coach Chip. He had developed a great relationship with Coach Chip, which is their DB coach. So if you don't know Paris, like Paris is a relationship type guy. Like wins and losses don't move him. This and that doesn't move him. It's just like, do I have a relationship with you? Can my next coaching staff build the same relationship staff that I have with the coaches at South Springs that he developed with myself, with Coach Carter, Coach Fagan, and Coach Brown? He's looking for that at the next level. And, so those other schools did an excellent job of doing that. So it was a tough decision for him, but ultimately, as his coach and as a Cougar alum, I'm happy and I'm proud to say that he's going to be a Cougar boy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
Man.
I have a really one last question, and this is just in general. Obviously, you're from the Houston area, but I'm curious. Did you? This might be an obvious question, but did you watch the men's basketball run to the national championship? And I mean, obviously, different sport, but did that have, like, just being able to see the university that you were considering at the time get that kind of exposure? Did that do anyway? Did that have any part, or just being able to see the university on that kind of stage and like, shoot, maybe we could do this for football in a few years.
Yes. I would most definitely say it showed me how big really Houston is for real. Like it showed me how if you're winning and you're doing the right things and how the city comes behind your back and got your back through everything. That's how much it really showed me. So that was a big part because of course like I ain't never been really out of Cypress and Friar Road. So but just seeing that was a huge eye opening. Like,
It was funny because me and him, we were at Michigan. Weren't we at Michigan?
mm-hmm.
And they played Duke, won the Duke game.
Mhm.
Man, Paris is at Michigan, and he was taking a unofficial to Michigan. And I'm in a hotel room screaming, emotions going on a roller
I know,
coaster, and he's
no,
just looking at me like, "What is wrong with this
bro,
guy?"
I, he, he was mad than a mug at first because they were down. I'm not even gonna lie, they were down at first, and
Yeah.
I think I left to go get some food or something. And I came back, this man up and jumping in the hotel room. Like, it's serious. But then like the more that I've seen and the more I watched the game, I'm like, dang, like it's really big, man. They love their team. That's all I can say.
So,
Well, Bryce, Chris, anything else you'd like to add?
nah, man, I appreciate you guys having me on, and look forward to doing more podcasts with you guys and anything
Yes,
you know.
Chris, I was gonna say, man, during the season, man, come in an episode or two and let us know how Paris is doing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And then hopefully Paris can get back on and give an update how his season's going and everything like that because we're expecting to have a pretty big season. My expectations for Paris, to be last year he was the first time South Fair ISD had MVP, the first one. So he's the only MVP of 16-6A. Uh, so I'm expecting him to do it again this year. And have a successful season. Now we're trying to get our squad. He's already made history by being the first program in school history going to back-to-back playoffs. And then now we're trying to make that next step of getting gold ball. So winning district, and then also making a run in the playoffs. And every time you go win a playoff game, you get a gold football. So our off season and our summer conditioning has been, model of getting gold ball. So hopefully the next time we talk, we're on that quest.
We appreciate each and every single one of y'all taking the time out of y'all's Monday evening to join us. I want to pass along this message from one of the YouTube viewers that we have. They said the city definitely has your back. Got to bring a chip to U of H. So
Will do.
look at that. Look at that. High goals, high ambition, and really, there's just a lot of momentum and just positive. For lack of a better, just a lot of positive in terms of the Houston football program, which 2 years ago wasn't necessarily the case. So it was a good thing to see kind of the tide turning, and obviously a big part in that turn in the future. So once again, big thank you, Paris, for taking the time out of your day to join us. Coach Wilson, appreciate it. Bryce,
Appreciate you
thank
guys.
you for helping set everything up. Can never say thank you enough. And shoot. We'll be back for another episode of Pod Slamma Jamma in the future. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, X, whatever you call it, at Pod Slamma Jamma, on Instagram, on TikTok. Let's Rage Cougs. We'll have training camp coverage coming soon, shortly. Training camp set to start within the next 3 weeks, and then obviously leading up to the 2025 football season. We'll have you covered. So big thank you to everyone that took the time out of their Monday night to join us and watch. Once again, my name's Andy Yanez. You can follow me on Twitter at Yanez_5. Big thanks to Bryce, Chris, and Paris, and we'll see you soon.
Go Cougs.